All right. So, Esper Durdle. This deck looks to kind of stall out aggressive decks with Ritual of Rejuvenation and Revitalize, and eventually you flip a Primal Amulet and then start taking lots of turns with Nexus of Fate once your deck gets really small, and then at some point you kill them with Chromium the Mutable. Oh, did you want to... I didn't realize it was already at something. Yeah, do you want me to do Elf next, Beetle, or do you want me to do... I do whatever you want. You're right. That does bump it to 100. So I can put this down for a second and load Elves up. Your call. Do your Mopey section. Sounds good. We'll do Mopey, and I will fill in L's after the Mopey section. Sounds good. All right, so Esper Amulet. One of the things I like about this deck, as opposed to the Fog decks that, like the last one we played, is because these are gaining health and drawing a card, as opposed to fogging, your deck is a little bit less bad against control decks game one, because you get to kind of cycle through your deck. So I want to see how this goes. You're definitely a little bit worse against the aggressive decks because you're not straight up fogging the turn. Instead, you're just gaining points of health here and there. But we'll see how this goes. And Twatsy said they will have a retroactive response to the 5th copy issue. I am not totally against spending money now. Yeah. Yep. The 5th card issue, how 5th cards are currently handled is definitely an issue. They're aware it's an issue. At some point, they will have a solution. Hopefully soon. But we'll see. I like that there's a memorial to Folly in the deck now. We go first. I'm going to keep this on the play. We need a white source, obviously, but like I've got this Discovery Dispersal to dig for one. The 5th card issue is what happens when you get a 5th copy of a card that you already have. Currently, it basically gets vaporized and turns into a very, very small amount of progress towards the vault, which is a terrible ratio and bad for people that are buying cards. I think I want both of these, actually, right? Have you played the Jeskai version with Banefire? I have not. When you open the vault, you get a very, very tiny number of wild cards. It's like 1 mythic, 2 rares, and 3 uncommons. It's a laughable number of wild cards for the amount of cards it takes to allow you to flip it. Jade Light, interesting. So, because I'm not under any pressure, I'm going to hold on to this Revitalize for a hot second here, because I'd rather Revitalize while Primal Amulet's in play, so that way I can get counters on it. I mean, they've literally said whatever solution they have to the 5th card problem is going to be retroactively implemented. So, like, if you want to play Magic Arena, you can put money in. They're gonna back fix it. Alright, well that makes this decision easy. Goodbye, friends. If they have a Vivian this turn to kill my Primal Amulet, I'm going to be in trouble. But if they don't have Vivian to kill my Amulet, I'm going to be in a great spot. I guess I'm giving them more card draws to hit Vivian or land. So maybe this is bad. Like, they're not really pressuring my health total. It's possible I should have just gone Rejuvenation plus Chemister's Insight there. Perfect. No Vivian here means I likely get to flip this Primal Amulet next turn, which is very, very good for me. Now, that's not what they said, Jensen. They should have logs of how many times people have opened the vault. So, like, scaring people away from opening the vault in the meantime is nonsense. So I need a white source of mana here, not anymore. So this is gonna flip my Primal Amulet this turn, which is great. Hey, Dreama, Carrie, and Anna, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine. So this flips when it gets a 4th counter. So now I basically want to bait a Vivian activation. So if they play Vivian or Vraska and shoot the Primal Amulet, I'll flip it in response so it's no longer a legal target. Devious Minimus, thank you very much for the Prime support. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. Welcome. Sure. So if they use this to destroy my Primal Amulet, I'll flip it in response. So, gotcha. And a land is no longer a valid target for this. So it just fizzles. Alright, so I play this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just going to go ahead and Nexus of Fate here. Take 2 extra turns. So I'm going to go ahead and play this with their Primal Amulet out here. And now I've got 1 more turn in the bank still, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I'm going to go ahead and Chemister's Insight, discard a thing, draw some extra cards. Oh, I should have left white mana up here. That was a mistake on my part. I hit Anticipate, that's fine. Actually, I probably want to wait and anticipate next turn. Because ideally, I want to anticipate with the Primal Wellspring to double it up. Oh, there's Nexus of Fate. All right, so I get to start my next turn here. So I get to go ahead and use this Primal Wellspring. I'm glad that we got to start doing our thing right away. God, this card is so degenerate. It enables so much stupid stuff. So we got 2 more turns in the bank. Solitaire, solitaire, do-do-do, do-do-do. These things aren't even legendary either, so you can get multiple of them going, which is great. So I get to go ahead and tap this. I have 2 turns in the bank. I'm going to go ahead and anticipate twice. Listen, chat. Fun is 0 sum. If I'm having all of the fun, then my opponent gets to have none of it. It's just simple math. Basic mathematics. And this is why, and this is a good example of why there's only 2 copies of Nexus of Fate in this deck, because like once you get going, you're gonna find your copies of Nexus of Fate. Yeah, if you double tap your Primal Amulets, it triples the Nexus of Fate. They're individual triggers. Discovery sounds great. Opponent's gonna see our whole deck game 1, right? All right, so I'm gonna start my next turn here because I want to cast this Nexus of Fate with both my Primal Wellsprings. So you have to go ahead and play this. So Primal Wellspring for blue, Primal Wellspring for blue, cast Nexus of Fate. So I have 3 turns in the bank now. Here's to another month, loving Arena. It's almost like it's a video game. Thank you, Boomer K, for the 2-month resub. I've been loving Arena too. It's quite fantastic. Yeah, bye, friend. And then eventually we would find our 1 copy of Chromium and then cast it and kill our opponent with it. But we were going to take a lot more turns and churn through a lot of our deck before that happened. It was just some good, clean living right there. All right. Do I want Pokemon Urikis? Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. Welcome. So shipping your Bezo bucks this way. Do I want... And yeah, because we don't play Fog, we can't protect a Teferi, so we don't play it. If this was Hex, you'd be putting a ton of copies. It would be Beetle. You're not wrong. So I don't think I want Stroke to counter their bombs. I think if anything, I want counters to counter their counters. So like Negate might be good because it kills their walkers that kill my amulets. I think I'm just gonna bring in 2 Negates here. Like this seems fine otherwise. To be fair, Chimmy, I said I wouldn't care about Arena unless it had formats that I wanted to play. And it has a format that I want to play now, so we care about Arena. But I was pretty steadfast in it feels like good software, but it just didn't have formats that appealed to me. And now it has formats that appeal to me. You wouldn't mainboard Acquisition instead of Chromium, because if they discard your Chromium from your hand, the Acquisition from your hand, you can't get it back. Whereas if they discard Chromium from your hand, we can pick it back up with Memorial to Folly. No, you don't need Omniscience. Omniscience doesn't solve any problems that we have. Blue-Black Pirates. Blue-Black Pirates is great. If you love tempo decks, you will love Blue-Black Pirates. How about this deck in the best? So we actually played this deck in best of one last time and just destroyed people. This deck's very good in the best of one queue. Because a lot of the tools people have for beating decks like this coming out of the sideboard. Alright, so the Assassin's Trophy adds some complexity to what we need to do here. I definitely want this Primal Amulet eventually, but going off here is probably going to involve end of turn, Nexus of Fate, untap 2 turns. This is the first standard format that the play design team had an impact on. So I'm really hoping that the reason why this format is good isn't just luck, but because they had a say with it. Dire Fleet Poisoner is very, very good. Alright, they're going to draw some cards next turn, chat, because we're going to Cleansing Nova. This deck's just funny. What it's doing is hilarious. Who's the play design team? The play design team is a bunch of players that played Magic at a very competitive level for a long time that Wizards hired. They hired Paul Cheon, Tom the Boss Ross, Dan Muster was another SCG grinder that they hired, Melissa DeTora, probably some other names that I'm forgetting. Definitely other names that I'm forgetting, but a lot of people have, like Andrew Brown, like, have played Magic at a high level for a long time, so they understand what goes into breaking Magic formats. Michael Majors, yep. Hired a bunch of really good players. Alright, so really looking to get up to 7 lands here. Just a little bit of A+ sequencing here from the opponent. I'm gonna opt now because I can get another Cleansing Nova. Ooh, I kind of want the land though, right? Yeah, I want the land. Yeah, I agree, Cryptic Remand. I think there's a chance they just, like, started Ixalan. Because, like, the fact that this format has been balanced by the play design team means that the potential going forward is that they could test for the new non-rotating format as well. They do still have Assassin's Trophy in their hand. You can see that up there. The cards you know about in their hand stay revealed. It's annoying.
Wherever I go, I leave bodies in my wake.
Having another Primal Amulet that they don't know about here is very good for us. Alright, so the goal this next turn is to not die in combat and have them tap off of Assassin's Trophy, ideally, so that way we can have 2 turns. Wow, that means we're not very likely to die. Alright, sweet. So, hopefully they don't leave up Assassin's Trophy this turn, and I can Nexus of Fate, and then Primal Amulet, and then get my combo going. Yeah, Arena tracks and always hides the one. You don't have to keep track of which Assassin's Trophy your opponent knows about, basically. Sweet. All right, hopefully they're dead now.
Stand aside.
We're not gonna know if they're dead for like 40 turns, but hopefully they've lost the game. I mean, they don't know that we drew another Primal Amulet.
Show no mercy.
They don't know that we drew another Primal Amulet. Like, this is only bad if we drew another Primal Amulet, and getting pressure into play is important. They, like, need to kill us.
Don't dwell on what's going to happen.
Oh, or they're not applying pressure and they're just... Alright, interesting. Alright, so we do this. And remember, I have another turn in the bank here still. I'm not really ready to kill them yet. Ideally, I want to flip this and then cast Nexus of Fate for 2 extra turns next turn. Perfect. Need to spend to get a good deck going in Arena. You can probably get mono blue very, very cheap. You can get basically any deck in Standard for like $100. Yeah, the fact that Arena uses screen space a little bit more aggressively is nice. All right, we've got 2 turns. We are by no means a lock here, but we're in a decent spot. I'm gonna go ahead and Radical Idea here, ditch this Cleansing Nova. Ideally, I'd like another Amulet, but we also don't really have the tools to get another Amulet going at the moment. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this out. I'm gonna go ahead and draw 4 here because I still have 1 more turn in the bank. So I just want to like maximize my ability to dig to a Nexus of Fate here. That is another Primal Amulet and a Nexus of Fate. All right, so we're probably deterministic at this point. I'm gonna play an Amulet, like cycle, and then like probably be able to flip that Amulet and then take 3 turns with this Nexus of Fate. I don't know. The more I play this deck and the Bant Fog deck, the more I think the 5-color Lich deck's just like a cute version of these. Like, these decks feel so much more powerful and consistent than what the 5-color Lich deck is doing. I spent $5 and I have most of mono blue, most of mono red. Izzet Phoenix? Izzet Control, and White Weedy? Nice. Yeah. And once you get a couple cards going, right, like you can just like get the in-game rewards every day. Yeah, the tempo decks are bad matchups for these because they have pressure with counter spells, which are a bad mix for you. So we want to lead on Drowned Catacombs here because Plains is going to make this come into play untapped for us. All right, control matchup. Interested to see how this goes. Both have search. I think these decks are very good against Golgari too, though, Brad. I think all of these taking turn decks are good against Golgari. I don't need lines at this point. Getting an Amulet to resolve game 1 is probably going to be pretty hard. I assume this deck is a huge dog to control decks, similar to Lich, and I think all of these decks, Lich, this deck, etc., are all very bad against control game 1, and like we sideboard into things that like make that better for us. Basically, how we want to set up to win a game like this is we want to pick a fight at the end of their turn with the Nexus and then untap and do stuff. Yeah, that's true. If we hit a Chromium very quickly, we could just like stick that and win the game. Stream Decker shows the deck on the left side of the screen. Hey, Paradise Sal, thank you for the 9-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I'm just gonna take more cards that draw cards. This also like fills my graveyard up for Azcanta here. So like having our Azcanta get activated quickly is actually a good way to win this game as well. So we've got that going for us. Stream Decker should be active right now. Should be on the left side of the screen. It's in a different spot than it normally is. Oh, it doesn't look to be active. Weird. Let me unload and reload it. That's a Teferi. Sad Panda. Deactivate. Component 1. Alright, I toggled Stream Deck around enough. I don't know, the multiple extensions are weird on Twitch. They don't handle themselves very well. Well, the clicking on the deck with Deckmaster doesn't show you... actually, just going to let this happen here. And then I'm going to hold on to this opt because this gives me a window to stick Primal Amulet here. Yeah, so like, because I have the ability to resolve Primal Amulet this turn, it's worth waiting. Yeah, it was definitely on my end. Something foobarred with Twitch. I mean, to be fair, my Azcanta was going to flip next turn, which was going to be very bad for them. So, this deck that we're playing is a combo deck. It's like basically a fog combo deck. Alright, so in response to this trigger, I think I want to go ahead and opt here, so that way I can draw this top card and guaranteed flip this Azcanta. Also, there's another Azcanta 2 cards down, so I'm going to keep this amulet. And then my Azcanta trigger is going to happen. I'm going to bin this other Azcanta that they tucked. So I'm going to graveyard that. I'm going to transform this over. Draw for the turn. Revitalize is sweet. I'm going to go ahead and just start chaining through here. Maybe flip this amulet if we can. So, do I want to end step Nexus? I probably don't, right? I probably want to activate Azcanta and then get this flipped before I try a Nexus, right? So because they tapped out really aggressively for that Teferi, I'm actually really excited that we're playing a control matchup. The dynamic of how this game is going is really interesting. This matchup doesn't feel as bad as I was expecting it to feel.
No time for a break.
So I'm going to let their end step happen. I'm going to let their Teferi untap trigger resolve. And then before we go to my turn, I'm going to activate this this Azcanta. Possibly hit some cantrips here. Perfect. Yeah, bye, friend. Bye, friend. Get out of here. All right. Well, huh. I think we just like full switch, right? I just like cut most of the cantrips here. Maybe I leave the Banefire in the board to wish for. Probably leave the Banefire in the board to wish for. This seems fine. Seems good. I like this. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, so leaving this boarding this way leaves me with 16 cantrips plus search for Azcanta, so I think that's plenty. Like I'm just cutting the health gain cantrips basically, which seems good. The Banefire can be gotten with Mastermind's Acquisition, which seems fine. So I'm leaving Banefire and Nezahal in the sideboard to grab with Mastermind's Acquisition. For those of you that are just joining us, happy Friday, welcome. Got 1,200 people here. My name's Jeff Hoagland, I stream full-time here on Twitch. This deck is sweet. We've had a lot of fun playing it on the stream in the past. This deck is one of the many sweet standard decks that you can find on my website. So if you're looking for sweet decks to play in this standard format, you're going to want to head over to jeffhoagland.com at some point. Click on the standard decks at the top. So I need another land here, but like I've got these ops. This might be a greedy keep since this is a tapped land, but I don't know. It's got Chromium in the opener. It's hard to pass up. I get 4 looks at a second land here, which means I'm going to brick and die. God bless us, everyone. No, I think one uncounterable threat on the board for Masterminds is fine. Yeah, I live in Bloomington. Drive through Champaign every time we go to Indy. Yeah, cantrip is a very old reference to D&D. For those that are newer to Magic, cantrip references a card that draws a card for very little mana. So opt is a cantrip. Anticipate is a cantrip. Cards that replace themselves. And the nice thing about Arena is when you hit the scribe bug like that, you can validate that the cards actually went to the bottom of your deck and you're just unlucky. All of the things you could be tracking with pen and paper or mentally in Arena, it tracks automatically for you. Yeah, validate my feelings. I feel cheated. I've been wronged. I've been wronged. I think it's just a Chemister's Insight turn. I didn't jam Azcanta because they're holding up counter spells. And like I have other things to do with my mana. So like this next turn, I might jam Azcanta into play. But like this turn, I get to play Chemister's Insight, which I think I'm pretty happy with doing. Deal. Did I just jam this? I think I just like head to the Space Jam, right? This is a Space Jam moment. Goons, thanks for rolling out the sub gift. I appreciate that. They could Defree us here. Yep, Defree is kind of scary.
Let's slow this.
They tucked aggressively last time. Looks like they've learned from their mistake. We could theoretically flip this next turn. We need a pretty lucky series of hits. It's kind of unlikely to flip this here because we've boarded out a lot of our cantrips. But like draft on Arena, and I know it doesn't draft with other people when you have the packs, but it does allow you to make some fun builds. Yeah, I'm not a big limited fan myself, just not my jam. So I could have played the Spyglass there, but they had counter spells up, and I'd rather they counterspell my search than my Spyglass, which was the reason why I sequenced the way I did, which might be incorrect, but that was the reason why I did. I didn't articulate that, and maybe I should have, but that's a Nexus of Fate. Alright, now I think I'm starting with this. Could use a black source for this Chromium. Try and draw a Negate here. Woo, doggy! Just the smartest, thinnest Magic the Gathering streamer, chat. Just the smartest and the thinnest. Look at all them counter spells. Oh, and a backup Teferi. I spy with my little eye a planeswalker that begins with T. God, the smart and thin emotes were such good additions to this channel. Just quite fantastic. So if they activate Azcanta, I get to Nexus of Fate, right? Is this a Negate? I would love to transform this. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I think we're gonna Spyglass Azcanta here. Now, because we've sideboarded, our deck is, look at that, did it in response so we don't get negated? Just the smartest, thinnest Magic the Gathering streamer, chat. Just so good. Do 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 do. Pew 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 pew. Do I lead on the Spyglass? I think I lead on the Spyglass. I'm gonna lead on the Spyglass because I'd like to stick another Primal Amulet. This might get the negate. Really? It didn't get the negate. Alright, well, let's name Azcanta the Sunken Rune. Oh, maybe I should name the field? Oh, yeah, because it kills my thing. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I should have named Field of Rune. I love the way you explain your reasoning for your plays. Keep up the good stream. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about Field killing my Primal Wellspring. That's true. I don't care about, like, this is way more advantage than their Azcanta, right? So this was a mistake. I should have named Field of Rune there. I concur with the people suggesting I should have named Field of Rune. Is there a swamp in this deck? I don't actually think there's a swamp in this deck. Anybody know offhand? Did anybody check the tape? No swamp. All right. Woof. Oh, and they're gonna shuffle my Nexus away. So I stacked the top of my deck wrong here too. Gosh, if I would have named Field here, I would have gotten to Wellspring this Nexus of Fate. Man, that's brutal. My mistakes just like compounded there huge. Okay, all right. Playing this here means if they want to counterspell, they can't activate Azcanta this turn, which is a win for us. I should probably start holding my lands in my hand because I need lands to keep Chromium alive. Need lands to keep Chromium alive. So playing my last couple lands out was wrong. Sure. Wait, didn't I Spyglass Azcanta? I did Spyglass Azcanta. I'm a big dumb stupid. Shh. I'm gonna have to discard this Nexus of Fate next turn, so might as well just like do this and take my next turn. Sometimes I'm fat and dumb, chat. Don't tell my wife. Sometimes I'm fat and dumb. So I'm going to take Radical Idea here. I don't want to tap out for this Chromium because I'm not going to have a card in my hand. Because this is going to make me discard here. That's my secret. I'm always fat and dumb. Okay. I don't think they have any Doom Blades that can kill this for just 3 mana. So I'm pretty good to start getting in here. Oh, geez, this gets a thing back. Wait, are there things to get back? Are there things? Or what are the things? There's like a Teferi? Oh, there's a Vana. Oh, gosh. That animation is sick. Why are the animations so good in this game? I think we're gonna die because I was fat and dumb, chat. Yeah, we're just not gonna beat this Vana. I'm gonna try the third one. If I would have named the Field of Rune, I think we would have won that game. I would have named the Field of Rune. Let's go to the third game. We weren't 0% there, but we're low enough that I want to move along. thought these mastermind acquisitions are very good. They seem really clunky. How many black sources do I have? I have 5 black sources. All right, these are going away. We're gonna cut these from the sideboard plan after this. I think there's some hot nonsense. This is 60. Yeah, that feels good. This seems good. Like, I like this configuration, I think. I'm trying to think if there were, like, any other cards I would possibly want in my deck here, but I think this is good. I don't think I want this Banefire. I think that's a trap. I think I'm winning with the Primal Amulet if I have it going anyways. Well, I mean, like, so, like, we see a lot of our deck, right? Like, our deck is, like, over a quarter cards that draw more cards, so it's not completely unreasonable, but I think in practicality, it just, like, doesn't work out. Sure. We have Disdainful Stroke. Nah, I don't really think you want basic swamp. I'm gonna give myself the best chance to find a Search for Azcanta on 2 here. Gonna be a bit of an uphill battle since they have Search on 2 here. Card's very good in these controlling mirror matches. I'm gonna mute myself off and on for a hot second here while I eat a snack. I think I'm just heading to the Space Jam this turn. So I can negate me. Herbivores, thank you for the 10-month resub. Welcome back, I appreciate that. Stroke me, baby.
That didn't pan out.
You like it when we stroke you, Tefri? Can I say that on stream? Is that inappropriate? That's PG-13, right? Can I ask Tefri if he likes when we stroke him? Do I want Primal Tide? Like, this is obviously a good threat, but like I need a land, right? I guess I have Radical Idea. Yeah, screw it. Let's keep the threats. All about the threats. Asking if it's okay only makes it worse. Fair. Fair. Duress. Wow, this Duress is about to be very sad. Eldest Reborn is a big reason to not discard these. So we got that going for us. So I'm just binning anything here because I'm gonna have to discard my last card to this anyways, so I think that's fine. I don't want to discard either of my creatures to this next turn, so I don't want them to be able to get them back. I'm actually gonna go ahead and cycle through here a little bit though, because putting more cards in my discard pile makes my search for Azcanta flip. So like, I'm not playing the planes so I can discard to the Eldritch Reborn here, but then this actually, the planes will be the 7th card in my discard pile. So even if I want to keep the top card of my deck next turn, I'm still going to get to be able to flip my search for Azcanta, which means I can start sticking these large threats. So they're going to get to bring back, yeah, see, like, I want to keep my amulet, and I get to transform this. And they're going to bring back Teferi, but, like, I have Sorcerer Spyglass on Teferi, so it's like, whatever. Your move. They've been their top card here. They're going to get to transform this, which is fine. Have a Teferi back that you can't activate.
This I can no longer stand by and watch.
Sure. Yeah, if they don't have Settle the Wreckage, Chromium's gonna... Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, they have Field of Rune here, too. Awkward. Yeah, that just has to happen. I need just to Chromium this turn. This is fine. Chromium kills Teferi here. What matchup? The Mastermind's Acquisition probably just shouldn't be in the sideboard. So for people that aren't familiar with my stream, most of what we play on this stream are viewer-submitted deck lists. So one of my subscribers sent in this deck, and as we play the deck through matches, I tune and change the deck with things that I think could make it better. So one of the things we're going to do after this match is done is cut those Mastermind's Acquisitions. I don't think they're particularly good looking at the control sideboard plan. Alright, so unless they have a 2-mana way to kill this, Teferi is dead.
Make another move. I'm getting too old for this.
Alright, welcome to the Space Jam. Hold on to this card so that way we can discard 3 cards to blink this. Whoever goes first is chosen at random. I would love a card, thank you. Ooh, Negate. I think if they tuck here, I'm just gonna let the tuck happen.
I'm known for my
Drawing a card, sure.
We need to move quickly.
All right, and I have a Negate here, so they're probably dead. Actually, I have this Primal Amulet is like gonna be really good too, right? Because I have these radical ideas. We got some kind of radical ideas on this stream, chat. Don't tell anyone, but this is like the dream team right here, huh? Just the kill target Esper control player dream team. Yeah, I think some Ixalan's Binding seems like a good suggestion. This deck wants a way to kill Niv Mastermind, and Binding's a great way to do that. Man, that was sweet. That was like a buddy cop TV show. All right, where are you at? Amulet. So, Banefire acquisition seem good. The extra Nexus, 2 more threats, and the counterspells seem good against control. Honestly, is Binding just better than Spyglass? I guess Spyglass stops Field of Ruin, which is a big deal. Alright, I buy that that's good. I'm just gonna throw 3 Binding in here for now, honestly. That probably seems fine. Alright, before we jump to the next match with this deck, I would just like to thank everyone for hanging out here today, welcoming a little over 1,300 people, which is absurd. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. We play nothing but constructed Magic on this channel. We play a ton of Standard here on Arena. We play some Modern on Magic Online. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do this because I love doing it, but the reason why I'm able to do it as a job is because of the subscribers. They're the people that keep me employed. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their support. By subscribing, you can also support myself by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Harry's Razors like to help get that nice, close, clean shave. Just because you play the degenerate decks doesn't mean you have to look like it. Using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/ShugalShave, you can save $5 on your new starter kit with them. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your Magic cards into other cards direct to their players. There's no haggling, and it just takes a 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork they have on their website. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. Thanks for stopping by our little slice of the internet here today. Remember, if you want to see more of my content after I'm done streaming today, be sure to check out jeffhoagland.com. I archive all of my streams there, and I break them up by decks so you can watch just the matches that you care about. Someone mentioned an audio sync issue. That's an issue that's been happening on Twitch's end. If the audio is out of sync with the video, you should refresh your browser page or restart the application on whatever device you're watching. Yep, that's funny, Wu-Tang. No, I don't think we need a basic swamp. Demonstrate Harry's shave on stream. That's awkward, taking my streaming setup into the bathroom. This isn't, I realize that I'm basically a cam girl, but taking my webcam into the bathroom with me feels like I've gone too far. Sand seems decent. It's got some cantrips, got some health gain. Have we played against red yet today? Not with this deck. We played against red at all today? I don't think we have. Red isn't super popular in the best of 3Q on Magic Arena. I feel like a lot of the people that play mono red on Arena just like stomp around in the best of 1Q. No, actually, yeah. So we have almost 60 people have used my Speak of the Devil and it will appear. Almost 60 people have used my Harry's code. And if 100 people use my Harry's code by the end of November, I'm going to full clean shave my face. People always ask me for donation goals to do that, and tying it to using the Harry's Razor code seems fitting. Huh. What are we doing here, opponent? Like playing like a big red deck? Yeah, looks like big red. Unlike the hair on the top of my head, my beard grows back, so it'll be okay, I promise. Where do we use the Harry's goal? You just got to use the code at bit.ly/ShugalShave. I don't have an overlay on the screen because not all of the codes get tracked automatically, and one of the guys working on the sponsorship deal with me, he manually updates my dashboard at the end of the week, so I don't really have an exactly live ticker. Primal Amulet sounds great. Drawing Primal Amulet there means I'm going to hold on to these ops, so that way I can play them post-Amulet. I believe if you use the bit.ly/ShugalShave link, Varric, it should put the code in for you automatically. Otherwise, at checkout, there should be an option if you just went to harrys.com to put in a discount code. So I put this into play. Since I drew another Settle, I'm actually just going to go ahead and Settle the Wreckage here, I think. Yeah, I'm usually pretty good about making commands. There's a 3-mana Settle bounty. God bless. In. I think I just click submit here. I think I just click submit. Disdainful seems good. I don't know. Better than Cleansing Nova, maybe? I think I'm just gonna click submit. I feel like we're a strong favorite here. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, I think this deck's more fun than the Fog deck, too. Casting a bunch of cantrips right in a row is a good time. I'm a big fan of just, like, cantripping through my deck. Go Island into search for Azcanta here. Yeah, this deck is splashing black just for Chromium at the top end. That could maybe get us into trouble. If they exile that from the graveyard, we might not have a way to actually win the game in our deck right now. But don't tell anybody. Yeah, that's true. Technically, we're splashing the back half of Discovery as well. Yeah, I have 2 copies of Memorial to Folly. I just need it to not get exiled. This is a pretty quick luck here. So we take 5. I did not see the new Overwatch hero. It was announced while I was streaming here. Looking for a Settle the Wreckage or an Amulet so we can get going. Just flip Terminus off the top. Let's go on Dream. There's a second Folly in our deck. I'm gonna bin that one. We might be getting too greedy here. We are dead to another Demanding Dragon. Deal. I wonder if they're playing the big red deck we played the other night. We played a mono red control deck, mid-range deck like this the other night. Sure, but like Nexus of Fate shuffles my deck. Oh, I have to give them one of these. Have that. 9 months with my favorite streamer. Take my Bezo bucks and keep up the great content. Thank you for the 3/4 of a year, Blur. Welcome back. Oh, we're getting WC3 remastered. Warcraft 3. That was an oldie but a goodie. I wonder how many people know that Dota originated there. Nexus of Fate. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm gonna get to do that next turn, right? I don't know that it does anything particularly useful. I'm basically casting Explore here. I guess casting Explore here lets me Azcanta into a Settle the Wreckage. So what gives me the most looks here? I can Azcanta into Settle, or I can opt Radical. So Azcanta to Settle gives me the most looks here. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the turn. Yeah, it's zero mana Explore, basically. Some good clean living right there. Goodbye, friends. They do have a fight with fire in the bin here, so like we're not safe yet, right? Like we just ramped them into the fight with fire. So like, you know, Bait fire. Bait fire. Maybe I want the Disdainful Strokes. Maybe the strokes are good. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. His hand doesn't really do anything. His hand also isn't great, but it's got a Disdainful Stroke in it. Not looking for another land. Looking for an amulet, basically. Evan is Leet. Thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. I think mission briefing's kind of slow and clunky. I'm not a huge fan of it in general.
We begin. Madness. What madness?
You are acting unwisely.
I know what I'm doing.
You think the opponent's deck is sweet? And well, it is. You can find a video of us playing the opponent's deck last night on my YouTube channel and my website. Click videos, and then standard at the top navigation. And I wonder if this deck wants a fourth amulet in it. I feel like in these games I'm really just digging for exactly that. Perfect. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. I don't think they have a way to kill this amulet. Yeah, multiple Nexus of Fate stack, which is one of the things this deck does. So like Primal Wellspring, when it flips, you start forking or copying your things. Hey, Demicto, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thoughts on Murmuring Mystic? It's okay. I don't think you really need the other win conditions. I've got Settle for the Sarkin ult, right?
Don't doubt my methods.
We get to churn through a lot of my deck here, which is nice. Oh, I should update. I forgot to update the stream decker. There shouldn't be Banefire in the sideboard. That was part of the original sideboard plan that the person that submitted this deck had, and I don't think it's very good. So Settle plus Opt flips the Primal Amulet over. I think I just want to flip the Primal Amulet this turn, right? Why do we need a Wrath? We could just combo them next turn, chat. Let's just, like, not die and then combo them next turn. I'm gonna cast Opt to flip my Amulet, and then my Amulet's gonna double Anticipate. 3 mana Settle. Thank you, Kuntz. So my goal here is just, like, not die. So I'm leading on the Opt, even though it's less resource efficient, because I want to double up my Anticipate rather than double up my Opt, because doubling my Anticipate's the more powerful effect. A Search for Azcanta is probably a fine one to keep. I think I'd rather take Opt at this point. Another Primal Amulet. Am I in for another Primal Amulet? I'd probably rather dig deeper, right? Because I really need a Nexus of Fate. Although I guess I can't cast Nexus of Fate this turn, right? Although I guess I don't need to go off this turn, huh? I don't think we're in danger of dying next turn, right? Disdainful Stroke's a good rip. Although they're gonna ult the Sarkin here. I'm gonna go ahead and dig with this Discovery. Bin that, take this other one. I think I'm gonna hold this one for next turn, so that way I can double it up. Nah, I'm just gonna combo them, chat. Just gonna combo them. It's fine. Discovery over Anticipate lets me put extra cards into my discard pile, which means I don't have to draw them in the future, because eventually our goal is to get our deck down to just copies of Nexus of Fate and just scroll through those. Kick Fight with Fire, sure. Like, I can either combo them or I can hit Settle the Wreckage to beat this Sarkin. Like, it's really not a big deal. I'm sure I'm gonna say that and I'm gonna miss all of it, and chat's gonna be like, ha ha ha, we told you, Hogland. But it's fine. Trust me when I say it's fine. $31 cards. That's true. They could potentially like have another Fight with Fire to kick or a Banefire here. So ideally, I would like to start taking turns this turn. So I get 6 looks into 29 cards here. Love the stream. Can't wait for Greenback Zombie. The deck is sweet. The deck is sweet. I agree. We about to brick and die, chat. Oh no! Oh no! Rip. One of the most important things you can learn as a Magic player, if you want to become better at playing Magic the Gathering, is that just because you take a line and it doesn't work out, doesn't mean you made a mistake. And now if you wanted to argue from a probabilistic standpoint that I took an incorrect line, I'd be happy to discuss that with you. But just saying because we didn't hit it doesn't mean we made a mistake, I think that's incorrect. Yeah, I have 4 more looks at a Settle the Wreckage here. I'd be willing to entertain that I took a bad play, but just we didn't hit, so thus it's a mistake is definitely incorrect. That doesn't open a meaningful dialogue or have a discussion about like what's going on and like what we could do and how we get better as a player. All right, I'm not gonna shill again because we just shilled very recently, but Arena crashed, so I'm gonna reload here real quick. Un momento. Yeah, like I said, I'm always willing to entertain the fact that I made a mistake. I'm human. I make plenty of mistakes, especially on stream where I'm playing Magic while very distracted. But just saying punt in chat gets you timed out. That's in the stream rules. I can't counter the fight with fire. That's actually a good question. So when you kicker a spell, the casting cost of that spell is still the number printed in the corner. It doesn't include the kicker cost. So I could not have Disdainful Stroked their fight with fire there, because Disdainful Stroke only counter spells that cost 4 or more. So kicked fight with fire still has converted mana cost 3, which is not particularly intuitive, but that is how Magic works. All right, let's play one more with this before we move along. Yeah, Fight with Fire is very good. It was one of the cards that was quite fantastic when we were playing the mono red control deck. Hey, DRM, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I think my alerts are dead. Let me reload those. Sorry about that. Sorry you didn't get a pop-up. Thank you for the 4 months. Whatever. No, you can import a deck without having cards for it. That's fair, Apostle Man. I just assumed that my deck was full of cantrips and that like I was gonna draw more cantrips or the card that I was looking for. Well organized content. I do try and stay organized. I'm not perfect in every way, but I am at least organized. Got that going for me. Yo, dog, what if we cantripped into 2 cantrips? This hand casts every spell that I draw, is what this hand does, and that's why I kept it. This hand likely gets to play Magic. You will. Here's just the cold hard facts. You will never lose a game because you mulliganed to 5 if you always keep 7. Anybody who tries to tell you otherwise is lying. That's just the cold hard truth. Squibfish, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month with that. Yeah, that's true. We also get to turn our extra lands into things with Jumpstart. Try and opt into Terminus here. Gosh, we're unlucky. Why didn't you think we ever opt into Terminus in this deck, chat? You ever tried qualifying for a Grand Prix? Once upon a time, in a galaxy far away, I played in a Grand Prix before. I have a top 16 Grand Prix finish. I have pro points, chat. I'm like a professional Magic player. But no, the last time I played in a Grand Prix was Grand Prix Indy in 2016. So I'm going to Milwaukee actually this month. So that'll be my first Grand Prix in like 2.5 years or so. Yeah, I think in a deck that's like looking to execute a specific game plan, like it makes some amount of sense to mulligan a hand like that. But like in this deck that's just full of cantrips anyways, I think it's a pretty reasonable keep. Milwaukee is standard. So Star City doesn't have standard tournaments anymore. So I'm going to Milwaukee because I want to play a standard event. Yeah, that was a Grand Prix I was casting spells that are sprite. So I think I'm actually going to Primal Amulet here. I'm going to take a little bit of a hit next turn, but I want to get this going. Getting this going is how I win the game. Am I locked into Pirates from Milwaukee? I think so. I really like Pirates. It's just been the most fun I've had playing this format. And there's a lot of sweet things in this format. Like this deck's great. So when I added standard decks to my website, I didn't think we would have that many of them, but there's like 12 decks on my website right now. It's kind of absurd. If I qualify for the Pro Tour at the Grand Prix, will I go? Maybe. It depends on where the Pro Tour is and like how it lines up with my schedule. Been playing this deck for a week and I feel so sorry for my opponents. Listen, it is never your fault that you're playing a specific deck. It's always WotC's fault. WotC's the one that designed the format. Oh, I don't have more white mana. Awkward. All right, so let's dig for white mana. Digging for white mana. We could die to a threat into these maximum. Oh, you know what? That was a punt. So I should have taken the 1 mana. I should have taken the 1 mana gain life card because then I could have cast it right here. So like if I die here and I could have gained 3 by taking the other one. Yeah, I'm gonna like get Exact Seed here and could have gained 3 and started comboing. All right, don't kill me, just attack for 3. Don't kill me, just attack for 3. Don't kill me, just attack for 3. Yes! Fist bump! I love that this is a No Justice stream. It's my favorite. So I get to do this. Oh, this was wrong. Maybe I should have done this first because I can't actually cast Nexus of Fate now. Mistakes were made, chat. Mistakes were made. I thought I was gonna be able to cast Nexus there, but it goes back to costing 7. All right, so I need to fade here again. Wow, we faded again, and they clicked through their attack step. The fact that I failed to draw a spell this turn kind of sucks, but everything else we got going on is pretty good. We just want to hit a series of cantrips this turn, so we just want to hit a cantrip, into a cantrip, into a cantrip, into a cantrip. All right, that's a Revitalize. So let's start by doubling this up. So gain 6, draw 2. Don't mind me. And remember, I still have 1 more turn in the bank here. So I'm getting, the next turn I'm taking is mine. Looking for another cantrip here. Radical Idea is perfect. So I'll cast Radical Idea, which will flip this Primal Amulet. And then this Primal Amulet, these things aren't legendary for some reason. So like now this Primal Amulet is gonna go ahead and cast this Revitalize doubled, just like up to 19 here. My Friday streams run late. I'm planning to stream for another 4 or 5 hours. I think I'm gonna do 3 more decks. Bye, friend. Bye, friend. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of hot, chat. Come on, don't tell me that didn't get you going. That was pretty fantastic, right? That was, All right, so I'm gonna get rid of Chemister's Insight here. I think I want Ixalan's Binding. What do I want to cut here? What do I want to cut? I need 2 more cuts here. My loins are aflame. Do I want to cut the Cleansing Novas? I feel like I don't. I think I want all of these. So do I trim cantrips? I'm gonna trim one and I'm gonna trim a cantrip. What's my least favorite cantrip? Radical Idea? Probably Radical Idea. Sand seems fine. Binding is a good pickup. Fire Mines Research, sure. I think I gotta keep that. I can't mulligan Amulet here. Or bottom Amulet. That's how we get going. So, Discovery, digging for lands. Perfect. Just like we drew it up, chat. This deck is a riot. How does this deck win? We have one copy of Chromium. So eventually you draw your entire deck and your deck is just 2 copies of Nexus of Fate, and then you take infinite turns and kill them with Chromium. You actually, I think we've attacked for lethal 1 time today in like the last 5 matches, because eventually they just concede. Yeah. Usually people are like, I value my time more than this. Peace. Chromium's hard to interact with. So we don't have any counter spells in our deck, so while we're taking infinite turns, if the opponent leaves removal up, that could be very bad for us. I've played Arena so much I keep trying to rearrange your hand. Sarah, hey Jeff, 8 Pongify Pelt Collectors. Just can you DM me, Sarah, the list again, just to remind me to add it in? It helps me stay organized. I appreciate it. Thank you for the resub at the tier 3 level. Just gonna go ahead and wrap this Drake up. It's possible I'm just supposed to stick Amulet this turn just because they're tapped down, but like prioritizing not dying here seems important. And like locking them out of casting future Crackling Drake seems very valuable. I think I'm just supposed to jam there. I think it's correct to jam because like the longer we wait, the more likely they are to draw counter spells. So I think like making them have it ASAP is ideal. Because like getting the Amulet online ASAP is like so good for us. It's possible that in a matchup like this where they're gonna have counter spells, I should just like board in the extra Chromium. One of the blue-red decks that top-aided the Grand Prix had 2 copies of Maximized Velocity in it, so it's become more popular after that. So we're digging for lands and amulets at this point, or Ixalan's bindings. And if we find another binding, they're gonna be mostly out of threats. Feels bad that like they tapped out after we played into their negate, but the flip side is there's a good chance that like if we didn't play into their negate there, they wouldn't tap out this turn. So neither of those are a binding or an amulet. Hey, would you look at that, chat? I found a piece of candy. I'm a little bit light on white mana, but I think that's okay. We're at 17. I have 7 health gain in my hand. This is going to be a maximum velocity here, I assume, and smash me for a bunch. I actually can't cast Settle the Wreckage currently, which is kind of a big deal. That could be the reason we lose this game. Yep. So I'm at 12. They have, this is at 1, so not anywhere near 5ing us. This is 9, 11. Any spell kills us here. Oh, what a tilt. All right, dead do a counter spell. Ah, good game, opponent. Okay, we're on the play for game 3. They had 1 card left, and like it was obviously a land or a counterspell, right? They would have played a threat. I guess it could have been a Crackling Drake because we had that excellent binding. Nice to see you enjoying Magic more often. It's like Arena and New Standardized revitalized you. Thank you, Secret Muffin. Arena's a lot of fun. Standard's a lot of fun. It's good combination. 2 great flavors that taste good together. Yeah, the Arena overlay is fantastic. The Deckmaster. All right. I think I'm just gonna run it back. I think I'm happy. I thought about bringing the other Chromium, but I think I'm over it. Seems fine. Turn two search is good. Search gives us a lot of digging. Hopefully find an amulet and get that in under their stuff. Nah, I don't think so. The opponent's deck doesn't actually play that many counters. I think just like trying to force our way through them is ideal. I think I just need to dig as much as possible to getting to amulet next turn. I cut the Mastermind's acquisition Zoop Monsters. I'm actually not playing that card anymore. Man, it's 4 o'clock already. I feel like the time just like disappears. I don't know, what does the math say? Don't just like look at the numbers of things and then be super results based about what happened. Go do math. Don't make decisions about your mana base based on your feelings. If you make decisions about your mana and Magic in general based on your feelings constantly, you're gonna end up very sad because your decks are gonna be built very poorly. Go do math is always the answer. Settle the Wreckage. I think I'm in for that. Frank Karsten has an excellent article talking about land specifically as they apply to standard. Don't need another one of those. If you know how to use a hyper geometric distribution, your life will be easier. Yeah, they could have a counterspell. Not a whole lot we can do about it. We can maybe try and sequence in different positions if we have the ability to, but there's a good chance we're just gonna end up jamming into a counterspell. Did we change numbers in the mana base after cutting? There were never tutors in the main board. There were 2 tutors in the side previously. It sounds like my monsters are home. I'll probably need to mute for a hot second as they come through because my 3 and 4-year-old are very loud, believe it or not. For those of you that have never interacted with a 3 and a 4-year-old before, they're loud. One little birdie. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of the bird here. Just keep the pressure off the table. Ooh, hi Jacob. You got mail? Yeah. Do you want to say hi to the internet? Can you say hi?
Hi,
hi internet.
Hi, internet.
They can't see you all the way down there, dude.
Hi, internet. Hi, internet.
Internet. All right, looking for a land.
Hi, internet.
Transform. Think that's funny? All right, what are we doing here? I think we're just passing.
Which one's our guy?
We're down here at the bottom.
Why?
Which one's our guy?
What's that guy?
That's the other guy.
Why?
How was school today? Was school good? Were you good?
I play with you.
You are
I
precious.
want to play with you.
Like this card game.
This standard format is almost good enough to make me want to buy paper cards. I'm scared. They're gonna crash it. They're gonna crash into us, Declan.
I'm gonna crash into him.
They're gonna crash into us.
And I'm gonna crash into him.
They're gonna crash. No, we don't have any guys to crash with, D.
But I do.
Oh no!
But I do. Yeah, get those guys.
Harvest their hair and use it for a wig.
Yeah, I need those guys to crash in. Why do I have any guys to crash in?
So this is probably just a cleansing Nova turn, right? Do you want to blow up their guys?
Yeah.
We're gonna blow them up.
Let's get him, Simon.
Uh-oh, do they have a counter spell? I might have sold you false hope. Okay, we're not blowing them up. I might have lied. Mo money, mo problem. Nexus fixed. Thank you for the 7 months. Declan has his moments. He's not bad. All right, we might be able to beat. I think we can beat that Disdainful Stroke. I'm not sure that we're gonna be able to beat another counterspell here. Now I'm sad I didn't make Declan and Jake a smash deck. Am I dead? We might be dead. Maximize velocity. I think the Revitalize saves us here. Oh, this is only 18, right? This is gonna be 8, 8, and 2 is 18. Right? 18? Oh my god, I let them play their counterspell! Oh my god, I let them play their counterspell! Oh no! Oh no! That's fine. I don't think we were beating Negate anyways, but we definitely could have had one more turn. I don't think we were gonna beat the Negate anyways, but we definitely could have had one more turn. I would like the record to reflect that that game was probably gonna end that way regardless. But it definitely ended a little bit sooner than I had to let it. All right, so, I feel like the Drake deck is probably gonna be a bad matchup for all of these Bog style decks, especially post board. Once they get access to counter spells out of their deck, I think that's really what these decks struggle against, right? Like these decks are looking to prey on the aggressive creature and mid-range decks in the format that can't interact with your spells on the stack. If a deck can't interact with your Primal Amulet, for this deck specifically, you're really far ahead. I think, so comparing this to the Bant Fog deck we played before this, I think I like this deck better in the control matchup, but I think it struggles a little bit more when, hey, Professor Knox with the absurd host. Welcome to folks coming over from his channel. We're just wrapping up with this Esper Primal Amulet deck that we're playing some 5-color Lich here momentarily. Thank you for that, I really appreciate it. Phil Lee Wan, thank you for the brand new Prime support, welcome. So, this deck felt like it had a better control matchup than the Bant Fog deck, but I think the fact that part of our engine is this artifact means that we're a little bit more susceptible than, say, the green-black matchup to their interaction. I do think green-black still feels like a reasonable matchup on average for this archetype, but it definitely gives you another axis for them to interact with you, potentially. All right.